Games, Brrraains A Head-Banging Life, and we are doing a track by track for Skid Row's Slave to the Grind. The second studio album by, they're called a heavy metal band, but I'd argue they are not a metal band.
Glam rock.
Glam rock, yeah. Released June 11th, 1991 by Atlantic Records. Interesting fact. Slave to the Grind is the first heavy metal album to chart at #1 on the Billboard 200 in the Nielsen SoundScan era, selling 134,000 copies in its opening week. The album was certified 2 times platinum in 1998 for shipping 2 million copies in the US. Come on, modern bands, why aren't you doing that?
Take it. Well, we know this was pre-streaming.
Just a wee bit.
Bands got paid for their music.
So Skid Row, they're a band of my youth because of yourself and another member of our family kind of playing certain hitters of these songs. They're not a band I've ever particularly cared for, even though I saw them like recently in the last couple of years.
Yeah, but this gets into the whole, there are 2 Skid Rows.
There is that.
There's the Sebastian Bach era and then the non-Sebastian Bach era, obviously.
What's even more puzzling...
Both play Skid Row songs.
Yeah, and what's even more puzzling is the Skid Row I saw, I don't know, can't remember who the vocalist is. It's not the vocalist now, because the vocalist of Skid Row now is your man who was the vocalist of Dragon Force back in the day, which the guy can sing, so, you know.
Yeah.
But yeah, Sebastian Bach is my Skid Row.
Yeah.
Yeah.
3 albums, Skid Row-wise for me. Another interesting fact, which I read when I was just doing a bit of research on this album, so it was just about their touring cycle. I don't know if you saw this, but for this album, so
don't remember it.
The bands that were out, I know it's a different time, you know. So when they toured this album, supporting it in 1991, but as the main support for Guns N' Roses on like a massive tour.
Okay, right.
Set them up quite nicely, right? We're talking like 1991 there. So what's that then? Use Your Illusion 1, I think, would have been around that time. Yeah, so Guns N' Roses were already a big fucking name.
Yeah. That's why they're the headliners, yeah.
Yeah, so I think Guns N' Roses would have been touring Use Your Illusion 1 and Skid Row got brought out with them. So that's firstly going to help you out quite a bit. The year after that, they did their own headline own headline tour. The 2 bands that came out of them, Soundgarden and Pantera.
Wow.
In support. So Pantera, Soundgarden, Skid Row.
Wow.
So you think like it's hard to picture, isn't it? Because of like knowing what you know about Pantera these days and that. You can't imagine but this was 1991, right? So this would have been more glam days. Yeah.
They would have been there to warm up. Yeah, it would have been a lot of covers and stuff, probably. Yeah.
So yeah, there you go.
But even still, what a lineup! Skid Row, Soundgarden. I mean, it's funny that both those bands would go into arguably bigger things.
Yeah.
You know, But this album was huge. Skid Row at this point were absolutely massive. Yeah. And we kick off with Monkey Business. Often rolling with some serious heavy groove, although the bucket drum does annoy me. It sounds like a fucking... I know it's not called that, but for me it sounds like they've got an upturned bucket, a hollow bucket, and they're hitting that. Drives me crazy. However, it can't overshadow Bach's ripping vocals. I'd be lying, though, if I didn't say this was the most GNR, Guns N' Roses, sounding track of the album.
Yeah, I can see the Guns N' Roses kind of influence.
There's some of it, yeah.
Yeah. Probably for a lot of the bands that were out at that time, to be fair. I am, as you know, a massive fan of Skid Row back in the day, so I know this album like the back of my hand, to be honest. And I really like Monkey Business. I think it's great. I love his vocals in it. I like the kind of restrained start to the song, and then it kind of just starts off with, it kind of introduces the album with a huge back scream. You know, one of his high pitch
wailing,
break your mirrors sort of screams. I did write. I have no idea what the fuck he's talking about half the time. I genuinely, what the fuck are you on about? Monkey Business, slipping off the track. You know, I'm not. What's he on about? I don't understand the meaning of the song Monkey Business at all.
No.
But you know, it's a rocking song, and you can it's one you can let loose to, and I can imagine myself enjoying it in a live environment. I love little moments in it. I think for me, Skid Row are like a band that have moments in songs, and it'll just be often around Bach or around the guitar solos. And in this one, he has like these little lines where it switches to the "Whoa, the pain," and then it kind of kicks back in again. You know, solo's great. I think it's a good album opener, man. It's a good song to open up an album.
Yeah, no complaints here.
Close the closet on a shoebox full of gold.
Slave to the Grind, the title track. For some reason, I decided to reference another band, and I was like, now we're heading off in a Motorhead direction with these riffs. I do like the galloping energy of this one, though, and it's 100% a metal track that kills it with the chorus.
Yeah, I think this is a great song. It's a bit darker, not just for the
heavier
album, but for anything Skid Row had done previously, even from their debut. Riff is heavy as hell, proper headbanger of a track. You can headbang along to it quite comfortably.
Yeah.
Vocals are great, of course, but his vocals are also a bit more subdued. You know, he doesn't go consistently for this high pitched scream. He kind of drops it down a little bit. Another great song. I did write I Could Mosh this.
yes, that's it. That's where the Motorhead thing comes from. I think it's more of a metal track than necessarily a rock track.
You're talking like an early 90s band. You know, they're going to be influenced by Guns N' Roses. They're going to be influenced by Motorhead. Like,
it's the era, yeah. They were pushing against the wave of grunge at this point as well.
Yeah.
The Threat, a club banger if there ever was one. The groove, the guitars make you want to move your body and shake your head. Proper sexy stuff.
Yeah, I kind of class it as it's catchy kind of radio rock intro.
Yep. Oh yeah.
You know, the vocals are great, of course. A little bit of menace at points in it, which is quite nice. I do remember not liking this one much on the album, but as I replay it, I feel like I was wrong, and I'm really enjoying the catchiness of it.
Adult ears, growing up, and all that. Quicksand. I was going to say Quicksand Zeus. Quicksand.
Wrong god.
Quicksand Jesus. A nice enough ballad that is a great showcase of Buck's vocals, although it doesn't do much for me overall until it kicks up a gear in the latter half. I find it a little too bland, and more importantly, I found this track really dated. Like, this felt old. Okay.
Did it now? I love this song. I've always loved it. I think it's a beautiful song. I think it's sung nicely, nice guitar melodies, all that sort of stuff. Yeah, all the normal stuff. I love the ending. I love that, you know, when it picks up at the end with that kind of anthemic, what do we need?
Yeah.
I think it's fantastic. Guitars are great, vocals are brilliant. Gets the hair standing up on my arm still today, man. Yeah. Amazing song. I love it.
So me calling it bland.
Yeah. I was just like, he must have listened to the wrong song. Which one was he listening to?
Well, no, because Psycho Love comes next, and I think wicked intro into the bassiness, the choppy guitar riffs do a lot for me. Also quite like the mellow, moody drop around the halfway point.
Yeah, I like a little moments in this song, but I'm not really a massive fan of this one.
Mm-hmm.
I think this one is probably one that I actually refer to as quite bland. And it's a weird kind of like distance, kind of far away effect on his vocals a little bit after the chorus, which I'm not really a fan of. I mean, if you've got a singer like that, don't stick him in the fucking background of the mix. Put him at the front.
Fair dues.
It does have moments though. I like, you know, there's some good riffing. The solo's quite heavy, but overall, I felt it was a bit messier and a little less kind of catchy as a song.
Okay, get the fuck out.
Right.
Punk. Yeah.
Sorry, I've been waiting for that for days.
Punk and roll, kick-ass speed that puts a big old smile on the face.
Yeah, same pretty much. Pretty typical rock stuff for the most part, but it's got a cracking chorus, good rock music, man. Never good enough for a single, but really good filler.
Yeah, just it's literally there, and you're like, yeah, it's cool. And that's the end of it.
I mean, it is filler, but it's good filler.
Yes, you know? yeah. Living on a Chain Gang. Right, first things first. I puzzled over this because I was like, Living on a Chain Gang. Is that supposed to be like a parody of Living on a Prayer by Bon Jovi? Because even the living has the end with the comma, the thing is. But I don't know where that was going, because there's a ton of snarl mixed with some straight up hair metalness. It's got that spit and snark that makes Skid Row such a delicious proposition, while also being super catchy.
Yeah, I think this song actually has some of their best lyrics, some of their less cheesy lyrics in it.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it seems a bit more serious, but musically it's got quite an 80s vibe to it.
Okay.
You know, even actually going back further than when it came out. You know, it's catchy. It's got some good stuff in it. I still see this one as a filler on the album, but again, I don't. You know, it's not bad filler. It's like it's not single worthy, but it's good rocking music.
Cool. Creep Show, a bit of a miss for me, but only because it's too similar to what I've heard so far. It's got energy, it's got good time rhythm, but it's lacking a bite. It's lacking something that made me go, oh, fuck that there, you know?
Yeah, this isn't a favourite of mine anyway.
Cool.
Either. I think it's like a lot of their songs. It's got little moments here and there that I quite like, but I just felt really indifferent to it. You know, like I'm not offended by it in any way whatsoever, but like I didn't care that it was there either.
Yeah, you're not even really giving it much thought.
Yeah.
In a Darkened Room. Now, for me, it was like, oh yeah, it's about time we got another ballad. Obviously, we're going to get another. And this is lighter than what came before. However, I think it holds up better. I enjoy it more.
In a darkened room, beyond the reach of God's faith, lies the wounded, the shattered remains of love betrayed.
Yeah, I think it's a really nice song.
Cool.
Really nice, you know. It's very guitar driven. Well, obviously, it is what Skid Row were really, which was like showcase the great guitarist they had and the great vocalist. And this song kind of seems to be written purely with them in mind. So here's your bit, Sebastian, and then we're going to come in with a solo and do our bit, and we'll take turns at showing off how good we are.
Yeah.
You know, but it's a nice song, man. It's really nice to listen to. You know, it's not the sort of thing you want to listen to all the time.
No.
But if you hear it, even if the most hardcore of like metal fan isn't going to listen to that and go, "Oh, that's shit," if they're like, "Oh, it's nice. It's nice."
Riot Act. Very short and sweet for me. A blast of metal that is a proper sing-along.
Yeah, I think it was nice as well to come after In a Darkened Room, like the little pace, lift
Build
it
up the
back
energy,
again,
yeah.
You know, and it's got a good riff. It's nice and bouncy. There's a bit of attitude to it. But yeah, like good, a kind of rock and roll style guitar solo as well, which is quite different. But yeah, I like it. Good song.
And for me, this is the third to last track, and this kind of sort of was for me like a ramping up towards the finish. Like it's suddenly like we were running a race, and we got tired for In a Darkened Room, and we hit Riot Act, and it was all fucking steam ahead to get to that finish line. Because we get Mud Kicker, which is more the same groovy tempo metal, but so enjoyable. And I love the snarl, and I think Bart gets quite deep with his vocals here, which is nice.
Yeah, it's a pretty cool track, this one, man. It's got like a bit more of that kind of stompy groove to it, you know, that you can kind of bop along to. Riff, you know, like a lot of the cheese metal kind of bang or glam rock or whatever you want to call it back in the day, man. Some of the lyrics are fucking ridiculously stupid.
Yeah.
You know, it might mean something like in kind of like slang to where they're from. Do you know what I mean? But this mud kicker kick, his mud in your eye, all that stuff. I'm just like, the fuck are you talking about? But it doesn't detract from the fact that like it's just a great rocking track again.
Yeah.
You know, you can just jump around to it, man.
And the fucked up thing, generally, I find this so fucked up that you would follow that up with what comes next. And this is the last track in the album, that this is somehow buried at the fucking end. Now, this is Wasted Time. And it had been, I'd even forgotten the song existed.
Oh, wow.
Like, I'd forgotten the song existed. And when I saw it on the track list, and I was like, oh shit, it's been a decade at least, maybe longer since I've heard this song. I was like, well, you'll know it as soon as it kicks in. And obviously I did. And I was like, but you've heard all these Skid Row big hitters so many times. I actually got goosebumps on my arms when it started playing. What a fucking track. What a fucking track. To me, it's like, what is this doing at the end? Why is this hitting?
It's a big epic ending, isn't it? It's the anthem.
Yeah, like, I mean, it makes sense in that, but I'm like, no, this needs to be heard. Like, I know it was a single, so like that helped. But like,
but you worry like people might not get to it.
Yes, it was like that. I was like, this is maybe the best song Skid Row have ever done. Wasted Time. It was nostalgic gold for me, but it was with the idea where I'm like, I am now mid 30 years old, and I probably haven't heard the song at least until my early 20s. It was amazing. Wow.
I think back to the times when dreams were what mattered. Dark-stalking youth naivety. You said you never let me down, but the horse stampedes and rages in the name of desperation.
Yeah, for me, it's my favourite from this album. It has been for 3 decades, pretty much. Still love it today. It's always been a bit of an anthem for me. I've always had it on my music players. Always had it on CD. I've got it as a single on vinyl at home. Always loved it. It's a brilliant song. Wonderful solos, glorious singing, loads of transitions. And I think this song is the best. Like, you know, you kind of said it there anyway, but it's the best that Skid Row have to offer.
Yeah.
This is the best of Skid Row. It's kind of the sum of all their parts. You know, when everything just clicked and fucking worked in perfect harmony. I like it. I like the fact that it's quite dark. It's quite moody as well. It's not a kind of, I don't know, uplifting rock track or anything like that. It's quite sad.
They're
song,
not trying to get you to dance.
No,
to it.
no, this isn't a dancing song. It's not going to be a wedding song or anything like that. It's quite dark and somber. And I wonder if it was at the end of this album because it was maybe a bit of a risk for them. Considering that people were expecting the ballads, they were expecting the punk rock kind of radio rock kind of anthems, and then they were like, well, we want to do something a bit more serious to attack it on the end. And for me though, yeah, it's the best. It's the peak of Skid Row for me.
Yeah,
great songs around it, previous album and the following album, but nothing ever got close to surpassing Wasted Time.
We both love Wasted Time. So, what is your 3? I imagine that's one of them.
Not Wasted Time. That's shit. No, Wasted Time would be my first one on the list.
Yeah,
without a doubt. Quicksand Jesus, and then Slave to the Grind.
Wow. Okay.
I'm assuming you're not going to have Quicksand Jesus.
No, unfortunately not.
Zeus. Maybe you would prefer it if Quicksand Zeus.
Mudkicker and Psycho Love alongside Wasted Time, obviously.
Cool.
There you go, Slave to the Grind, Skid Row's second studio album. Let us know your thoughts in the comments. Thank you very much for watching. You can check us out on gbhbl.com as well as on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter and Tumblr. Go to Patreon and help us out over there. That's patreon.com/gbhbl, as well as Big Cartel, where you can find some of our merchandise. We have a podcast running on SoundCloud and Apple Podcasts. And of course, if you like this video, do us a favour, hit the subscribe button and help the channel grow. Games, horror and heavy metal. What else is life for?